Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of hermits and crafting. And we are standing just above the massive dig site that is Hermit City, which we announced in our last episode. And I was so blown away by how excited all of the hermit community is at this project, which makes me so excited and inspired and ready to go for this whole thing. And if you guys are loving Hermit City, hit that like button and let's get going. Let's take a look at the scoreboard at the moment. So we've got 55,000 blocks mined at this point. We got Python coming in. We got the Wells of Night. We got Azuma. We've got Cleo and Impulse looking super snazzy. So are you guys ready to see the progress down below? Are you? Okay, because here we go. So in our last episode, of course, we got all the dimensions laid out, which took 12 hours. But it was well worth it so we can have our domes and have the nice circles and things along those lines. So this is the level that we're going to be working on today. We're going to be creating the dome at the top and adding all sorts of amazing details along the way, which is going to be a huge undertaking. Every block meticulously needs to be counted out. But we are up for the task. But I want to reveal to you all of the work that the other hermits have been working on since we last were here. So let's go down the ladder at full scar speed. There we go. Look at this. Look at it. It's absolutely staggering to see that this is the amount of stone that's already been mined. I've estimated that we are around 400,000, just shy of 500,000 blocks mined at this point. It is looking absolutely amazing. Now, my concerns are that we're going to get this whole thing excavated, but it's going to take weeks to clean the edges. That's kind of a concern I have right now. So we need to make sure when we're excavating, we do this in as clean a manner as possible, just to avoid extra work. So as you can see, this area is just staggering. To think that we're even going to go even lower. And of course, the ceiling's going to be knocked out very, very soon. But let's try to find our obsidian pillars. Ah, here they are, guys. So over here, these are our obsidian pillars that we set down in our last episode. So we're going to try our best to get as close to this point as possible today by bringing down the roof and, of course, that dome, which is going to be super awesome. So these whole sections still need to be excavated out. And of course, we need to set up our perimeter with our little kind of circle design, because once we have this thing all mapped out in a circle, then we can plan out where the residential is going to go, where the shopping is going to go, how it's all going to fit together, and where those beautiful elements of design are going to come together within the space. Now, of course, if you guys have any design ideas for this, go hashtag city design. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can get me in the comments. I've been going through the video comments in the last episode trying to get an idea what you guys want to see, and there's a lot of hype for a tree some way involved in this project. So this is kind of a good view right here. This is just absolutely staggering. But well, my friends, let's head back to our base. Let's smelt some iron and get started with today's episode. Welcome back to our delightful little hobbit hole in the side of the mountain. We have made some huge progress in our 2 streams over the weekend. That is right. You can actually see them. We've got maybe 30 or 40 shulker boxes and cats. That is right. Hashtag cat hype in the comments. I want to see it. Hashtag cat hype in the comments. We have got our cats, which are amazing. Look at how cute they are. Look at the little kittens. So if you remember, we allied ourselves with the NHL in the last episode, and part of the reason was I wanted to get free access, at least without being taxed or killed, if I went into the jungle and got my cats. Now, we did pay for these cats and Beef's breeding services with the shulker box, so we paid up. And of course, we aligned with the NHL, so we're totally cool. So yeah, I love these cats, but we need to head down into the mines and we need to smelt up some iron, because I would hope to get an extra beacon going today, because we have 1 single beacon. Now, iron is still at a very high premium here on the server. I kind of feel that iron is more valuable than diamonds at this point. Now, there's a lot of iron farms, but the amount of iron that we need to create our beacons, I would like to have 4 more beacons for this project, but I don't think that's going to happen. But this is all the iron that we have so far from this project. So we're going to start smelting this up now. We're going to get this all going, and hopefully with this, we can get very close to getting an additional beacon up and running. So let's let that all cook up, and I'll see you in just a minute. All this time smelting has given me a lot of time to do a bit of maintenance around the cave here. So I was able to breed all of our cows and sheep and pigs back up. So that's awesome. All right, so let's head down. Now, I think we have enough iron, but if we don't, that's okay. We can totally go and get some more. There are some farms starting to pop up, so hopefully somebody has some extra, but I was just glad to finally use our smelter array, right? I know it's not as fancy as the Cubfan's unit, but we may take a look at that later in the episode, but look at this. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is really good. This is a good start towards getting a new set of beacons all ready to go. Very, very pleased with this. Unfortunately, we're still a little bit shy from a full beacon, but we're definitely getting there. It's kind of a disappointment. I was hoping to achieve that, but that's okay. That's fine. We've gotten a good start towards another one. Maybe we could even reposition Azuma's beacon at the actual dig site so we can start working on some of the corners, but hopefully somebody get farms going up and ready to go so we can get some additional iron and we can get all 4 beacons on either side of the dig site, which would be excellent. So let's pack up our stuff and head back to the dig site. And welcome back to the great dig site of season 5. Now there are a lot of miners out there. Look at this. We got Whales Knight coming in at 50. We've got Jevin at 62, bringing it home. So yeah, a lot of progress has been done since we last recorded. Had a little medical thing where it kind of took me out of the action for the entire day, unfortunately. But I am back, and it is time to mine out this dome, or at least as close as we can. So we need to meticulously count out each of these blocks. And like I mentioned before, once we get this whole area excavated, I just want a basic dome. Then we can come in, we can add vines and stalagmites and stalactites and all sorts of other details throughout the design. But if we can have a basic starting point of having a nice dome design, I think that would be really cool. So originally we mined out this entire section without a beacon, so this is going to be quite a bit easier. Now keep in mind, when you are digging out with a beacon and you're trying to count blocks, gotta be careful. You might get a little overzealous with your pickaxe and knock out blocks that you don't want to. So, all right, let's see. I mapped out this, so these should be right across here, okay? So we're going to line this up. Let's double check this. So we're right in between these 2 blocks right there all the way across, okay? And then if we break into here, we don't want to break this line right here. So if I'm not mistaken, this block right here is 1. And oh no, back that up. That's 50. And then this is 49 right here. And this is 48, okay? So if we come in like this, oh, this is going to be difficult. These little pockets are where it's going to be hard to figure everything out, because the little lava pockets, there's like a glass staircase and things along those lines. So we'll count off this block right here. So that's 1, and that is 2, that is 3, that is 4, that is 5, that is 6, that is 7, that is 8, that is 9. There we go. And then of course, let's light this up. Okay, so that's kind of established now. And oh boy. These are going to be our biggest stumbling blocks at this point. Actually, it's 10. I lied. There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, it'll be okay. We'll figure this out. That lava is going to be a problem, but that's all right. Okay, so from this block right here, so then we'll count out this one right here. So this is, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so yeah, like I showed before, it is really hard when you're counting out to make sure you don't break out more blocks than you're able to count at a time. So just being super careful on that account. So I think this will be good. So if we go out 6 blocks, then 5, then 3, then 2, then 3, then 1, and then just keep going down and down until we get an additional circle built around this little corridor right here. Another point, I'm going to leave this layer. See this layer of stone right here? I'm going to try to leave as much of this up here as possible so we can add our details to the ceiling and then go down another level and then work on the details on this side, go down another level. Does that make sense? I think that's the best way. My main goal in this whole thing is to try to avoid extra work. That's like my main goal with this. Extra work, trying to avoid that. So I think this will be good. So wish me luck, my friends. This is going to be a monumental task, and I hope you have the confidence in the Scar. 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, 4 block, 5 block. It never ends.
Scar?
What?
Scar?
Oh, I thought. Cub, hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm not sure, Cub. What day is it?
It is, what is today? Tuesday.
I've been down here for days, Cub. I haven't seen another face in many, many days. Have you brought me potatoes, Cub? Have you brought me potatoes?
I have. I got some baked potatoes, fresh from.
Thank you.
Well, let's not. It definitely wasn't made by a villager. For who's enslaved. So just yeah.
I will take the potato anyway. Well, welcome, Cub. Welcome to the endless project that never ends. Welcome. This is the Scar Dome, by the way. We're making some decent progress at this point.
All right. So I saw the giant area below, and this is like the top area where I guess this is the top of our communal underground area.
Yeah, so if this is kind of the center point of the entire, that's my project. No, this is Hermit City. So if this is the top of Hermit City, and as you can see, this is a huge hollowed out area. Now this is fairly accurately counted out. Each block was counted out. How accurately? Can't quite guarantee that, but it's getting there. It's getting there. So when I started this dome, I was at 50,000. Now I'm at 90,000 blocks mined. So this is taking quite a while. I'm on day 2 so far. And yeah, but you want to see the lower regions? Come with me to the lower regions.
Yep. The lower regions.
All right.
We need dramatic music. There it is.
We do.
Boom.
So this is what all of the hermits been working on. And we saw a brief snippet of the scoreboard, and it looked like we're getting close to about 500,000 blocks mined. Very close to it.
Yeah.
It's big.
Getting somewhat close.
You know, some people didn't think we would get there this fast, but we have. The power of the hermit has come together. Fight.
Yep.
The stone.
Yep. It's pretty amazing what you can do when you have a lot of people working on one project. Like this took. I'm really surprised it took as a short amount of time as it did to get this all dug out to this amount.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And then looking at the scoreboard, we got like Tango coming in at 16,000. We've got the Cub 43,000. False 15, Impulse 70. He's had a hard time. We can't be hard on him. He's been dying by magic more times than I can count. And then Isco coming in at 36.
Yep, definitely. So we got some new blocks down here. You got some big plans. Can you sort of explain like what is going to happen here?
Yeah. So as always, I'm a little bit confused. And the test world is coordinates, even though it's a snippet of this exact HermitCraft world, the coordinates are different. So in that world, this level would have been 25, but where we're standing here, it's 35. So 35 is the end of the dome. At the very end, there's an obsidian pillar right there. So I'm bringing out these lines to kind of give us a good measurement. So if everything's right at the top, I should be able to break through at that level right there at that obsidian block, and we should have a fancy dome. So that's my goal anyway.
Nice. So it's going to be like a big dome going up overhead back to the very top at where the white beacon is over there, right?
Yeah. And hopefully central column will go up, 4 elytra holes on either end, and all the magic will come together, Cub. And Hermit City will take shape. Always good hanging out with the Cub, and a big thank you for the help. So he's going to start chopping out some of those extra walls and fixing the floor, making that all look fancy. So that's going to be a huge help. So we need to repair all of these pickaxes, which is absolutely crazy. So looking at the scoreboard, like I'd said to Cub, we started out the dome at around 50,000 blocks. We're at 90,000 at this point. We haven't even hollowed it out yet. So this is going to take a while, my friends. This is going to take a while to repair all of these up. What we're going to do now is we're going to head down and give you guys a bit of an idea on the progress so far. So taking out this, well, there we go. You remember, my ladder skills are not so great. So this is the massive dome area, like we've shown before. So I'm going to continue to go down. It turns out we're moving closer to 35 because if you remember right, the test world's dimensions are very different from this world, even though it's the same world. So we're going to continue to go down maybe another 5 or 6 more rings all the way across. So once we get that done, I'm going to do a super awesome time lapse of this entire excavation of this little inner area. Now, what I want to do is I want to leave a nice flat layer at the 35 level, which that'll allow us to only do a little bit of scaffolding. We'll only need to go up about 10 blocks at the highest point. What that'll allow us to do is get a good vision of how we're going to add the stalactites and the stalagmites, and of course, all the vines and all those little details that we'll eventually get to. But having that extra level down there will make that task very, very, very much easier. So let's go down here real quick. And like I showed when we were talking with Cub, we need to get these boundaries set up. So we're going to add these lines going in either direction like that. Oh, hello there, Bob the Creeper Building Inspector. Everything is up to code, as you can tell. That's why I'm going to shoot you to your death. Okay, so we got Cubfan. He's working on that section. Zedip is going to help him on this area, which is going to be super, super helpful. Big helpers right there. And then, of course, we need to get the obsidian out. And then, of course, in this little area right here, we're thinking about raising the ground level back up to 10, which was originally intended. There's some areas that got excavated a little bit lower than that. So Cub's going to work on that. And look, there we go. I wish I had Optifine so I could zoom in. Zepdef going big over there, getting that all mined out, looking super fancy. That's awesome. It's amazing the help the others have been for this. Like, we would never, ever in a million years have gotten this far in such a short amount of time if it wasn't for the other awesome hermits. And yeah, all my friends, it's back to the dome grinding. Welcome back, and it has been quite some time since we last talked, actually 2 days or so, because I've bit off a little more than I can chew with this project. So we are now on the top level at the very tip top of the dome that we're now creating. So this is Scar Dome here, and it is quite staggering the amount of progress done. So all of these blocks had to be meticulously counted out, and Zuma brought down the floor. So originally we were like 2 blocks from here, so he brought that way down so then we can start reaching up here and carving out all of the diorite, all of the granite, all of those things. So yeah, this has taken a long time. This was 2 12-hour days to get from here all the way down to here. And each ring is probably at least 2 hours to an hour to get all the way around at this lowest point. So yeah, I put in some hours, and I'm determined. Like, when I'm going, like, I can't stop. Like, I need to get it done. And yeah, so it has been quite some time, and I really hope you guys have liked this so far. This video is a little disjointed, and I apologize about that, just because the sheer amount of time it's taken to record it, and the amount of time is just, I think it's worth it. That's the problem. It's like, am I doing something that's worth it? I hope it is. Maybe you guys could write something nice in the comments, like hashtag GGScar. That'd make me feel really good. It really would. So you go hashtag GGScar. I'd be really appreciative. But yeah, big thanks to Cub, because last night he really kind of saved me when I was like losing my mind. I'm like down at like this level, and he saved me, helped me out with these lower levels, and of course got the beacons installed, which was a huge, huge help. So if you want to write something nice about Cub, I'd appreciate that too. But yeah, guys, it's just about time now, I feel like, to start knocking out all of this central section right here. We're going to do that in a glorious scarlet time lapse. And of course, we still might need to go down maybe 3-4 more layers, which I'm slightly fearing about, by the way. But yeah, this maybe was absolutely my limit. I feel like this is Scar's limit right here on what I can do in survival. And but it's worth it. I think it'll be really cool. And yeah, so let's hit that time lapse. end of super fast build mode, and that concludes as much work as I could physically get done today. This has started out on Monday. It is now Thursday morning, and we are still buzzing out the stone in this area. Huge thank you to this crazy guy down here, Cubfan. Huge help, always helping me out late at night working on this project. As you could see, each one of those blocks, each ring was meticulously counted out to create this beautiful dome shape. And well, was it worth it? I don't know. That is up to you guys. This project, I'll be honest with you, is probably one of the least fun projects I've ever done in Minecraft, but I feel like you've got to do that to get to the delicious center, which is all of the detail and all the things that we do love to do in Minecraft. And just this project today, we're close to 200,000 blocks mined ourselves in just this area. It's absolutely staggering. So this, of course, is the dome. We're going to have the central column built up into this area. And of course, that'll bring us all the way down to the lower area, which will make up the ring where the residential and, of course, the shopping district will lie, which is going to be absolutely stunning. And especially when you're standing down here and you look up, and once we remove this layer of our ceiling that goes right there, we're using this so we can access the ceiling with relative ease, you know, for scaffolding purposes, things along those lines. And yeah, it's a staggering process. The scale, no other. Like I can't even put into words the scale of this thing and the amount of stone just mined out. We are well over 500,000 blocks total within the project, which is absolutely staggering. And like I said, can we write something nice in the comments for Cubfan here? I can't thank him enough for just hanging out with me late at night as I just chop. So he's been an absolute saint during this project. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. And I'm so sorry the videos have been late because of this. It was way more than I ever anticipated. So I thank you so much for your understanding. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later.